Welcome to Stop Dating Losers, the only show that tells you the real truth about modern day relationships. Be sure to spread the word and let us begin. All right, what do we have here first? Hey, ladies, men aren't begging for a reward when they tell you they did a chore. They're just trying to avoid being told they don't do anything. Yeah, there's it's not so famous, but there's a saying that if the woman doesn't see the man do a chore, a responsibility around the household, then it never happened. I actually saw it on a sitcom once. It's kind of true, but to a loving wife, a loving girlfriend, whatever the case may be, no good deed goes unnoticed. That's part of a healthy relationship. So if this is happening to you where she has to see it to believe it, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. That's a big red flag right there. It could happen at any point in the relationship, unfortunately. But it's not something extremely serious, but it could be serious down the line because that means that you're not being appreciated by your efforts as a man. And this could later branch off into more serious things if left unchecked. So women out there, make sure you appreciate what your man does, every little thing. And the same applies for men appreciating what women do, every little thing. So that's about as far as I can go with this comment here. Yeah, it's not begging for a reward, but you should reward each other. Whether that's intimately or just with a simple thank you, acknowledgement, a hug, a kiss, anything. Be creative, but above all, be thankful. Always gratitude takes the forefront in a relationship. Always be thankful and grateful for the opportunity that you have every single day. Many people, they just throw it away. They start complaining that things aren't the way they want them to be. That's just another opportunity for you to solve the problems that are at hand or the issues that are taking place and to mold your own reality on a day-to-day basis. But it takes two to tango, doesn't it? So men and women must learn to work together, not point fingers. And I hope that resonates with everybody listening right now. Let's go ahead and move on to the next comment, shall we? Because we can go way too deep with all that. Such a simple comment, yet such a big issue. Comment number 2. So, I think I just got ghosted, which means ignored all of a sudden in the dating game process. For those who don't know, we have been talking for 3 months, met up, and I thought we really had something good going. The ghosting happened a month after meeting up. Well, that's kind of fast. Maybe he found someone new? Why would someone just ghost instead of communicating? Cowardice. He could have just told me he didn't want me anymore and then leave me hanging. Dating really is one hell of a roller coaster ride. Well, because it's a game. I'll always tell people, dating is a game. Stop playing games. I'm probably the only one to say this as a relationship coach. Stop dating. Start befriending. Whatever happened to getting to know each other as friends first? It's not friend-zoned. Friend-zoned is when she's interested in another man and she puts you in the friend zone just to keep you hanging on. Maybe so you can pick up the crumbs later if her relationship fails. And maybe if she wants to play around with you. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about being friend-zoned. We're talking about placing friendship first, a nice slow pace, and not tripping all up over yourself with the dating game. Because that's all you're going to do. Yes, dating could work. But you're playing a dangerous game. Understand? Let's say dating works. You met a cool partner. It's working great. Maybe for a few months, a year, a few years. Heck, maybe 20 years, and you guys got married. It could still fall apart. That's plenty of time to get it right, you would think, you would imagine. But if the beginning, just like a house that is being built, the foundation is just as important, if not the most important part, before everything else, the walls, the roof, whatever you put inside the furniture, it doesn't matter. So friendship is that foundation. And you don't rush to build a house, right? I mean, it's impressive how fast they build them, but regardless, a relationship takes time. So look at the word friendship. Friendship, relationship. It's like a boat that's going to set sail, right? Not going to get really far into it, but you get the idea. Take it slow. Let's take a look at this one. Talking for 3 months. Okay, that's okay. Sounds like a friendship, but not really, because this wouldn't have happened if a successful, solid friendship had been established. 3 months is not a long time. I'd recommend at least half a year talking, but more than just talking, are you spending time with each other? I'm not talking about dates. Just talking with each other, like, I mean, serious talks, because if you guys had serious talks, none of this would happen. You don't talk to someone that long, 6 months time approximately. I mean, it's not like an exact science or math. It's just a rough estimate. It depends the quality, not the quantity of time that you guys were talking with each other. So, she says here that I thought we really had something going. Well, that's what you thought. But you're just as responsible as the other person involved. You have to use proper discernment. How well was it actually going? Because maybe you thought it was going good. Maybe he didn't. And then the ghosting happened a month after meeting up. Okay, why do you think it happened? Did you guys have a disagreement? Because there are such things as deal breakers. Why continue talking to somebody if the friendship isn't going well? There's too many disagreements. You guys aren't vibing right. It's not a guarantee. Just because you guys talk with each other doesn't mean it's going to be a guaranteed future relationship. It doesn't work that way. Maybe with the house, when you have the right key, it's going to open just that door, but you have to create that key. The key to each other's minds, hearts, and spirits. You guys, it takes time to forge that key. And it's reality. But if you don't take the time, this is what you're going to end up with. Getting ghosted. It's so immature. It's so brutal. But that's the days that we're living in today. No courage to step up and say, not even the common decency, to just say, I don't think things are going well. I think we should just pretty much end it here. Good luck, though. I need to find someone which, we can synchronize a little bit better, right? Somebody more to my liking. Somebody who is compatible. And just leave it there like two mature adults. But no, we have extreme cowardice. They can't even face each other. They're too shy. They're too scared. It's horrendous. But that's what's out there, right? Maybe you found someone new. It doesn't matter. And then you ask, why would someone just ghost instead of communicating? Because it's cowardice, like I said. And that's the end of that. So like I said, go ahead and play games with the dating process. It's just a big game. It's just like the slot machines. You put that coin in, you pull the lever and see what happens. But you have to realize that you're in a casino. So it doesn't matter which slot machine you put a coin in and pull the lever. That's what dating is. Everybody's acting like a slot machine. Paying for dates, seeing what happens, messing around. Friendship, not dating. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, shall we? People who are dating can be so impatient. Yeah, you think? A while ago, I matched with this guy on an app. Well, that's your first mistake, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Stay away from online apps, dating, all that. That's somewhere where technology doesn't belong, okay? It might work 1% of the time, but what happens to everybody else, the 99%? Disappointment, time wasting, life wasting, right? Okay. We were getting along, that's what you thought, and he asked to meet in a few hours. A few hours? Wow, okay, like, Yeah, okay, let's see what she says. I told him I won't be available till the next week because of work and stuff with my kids. Oh, wow, okay. I gave him some dates and he immediately went off and said that I was being a flake. All right, it's time to hang it up, right? Too easy. And he has no time for games. Well, he's the one playing games. What is this? Delivery service? You can't just order a person to say, I'll see you in a few hours, and hey, stop playing games if you say no. Yeah, that's not a real man. End of story. Then blocked me. Good, I'm glad he blocked you. You should block him too, but you shouldn't even be on that app. Okay? Stop with the online dating. It's just as much your fault. What were you expecting? To meet a marvelous guy on an app? And for guys out there, what are you expecting? To find a marvelous woman on an app? Online? Where you have no idea who is behind that screen in reality. And even if they are who they say they are, you're not looking into each other's eyes. Even if you guys have cameras and microphones, it's not genuine. It doesn't work that way. So you got to meet people offline. Like I said, technology has its place, but not in the realm of love. Unless you guys are in a long distance relationship and you guys want to communicate with each other, fine, that's brilliant. Okay. So WTF, I'm busy and have stuff to do. Have you experienced this? Well, I would hope not, but unfortunately, a lot of people out there who just don't get it, they are experiencing this. And, this is just a prime example of selfishness, greed, immaturity, unintelligent people online. So what did you expect? Let's go ahead and move on. Oh my goodness, people insist. No, it's just like the gambler. Maybe if I win this time, like I said, the slot machines, you're in the casino. Let's put one more coin in that machine. Maybe this time when I pull the lever, I'll get the right one. You'll be in that casino till they close, if they ever do close. That's what the dating game is online. It's a waste of your life. But if you insist, go ahead, be an addict. Would you date a woman or man who doesn't drive, but still has a job, goals, and his or her life together? Be honest. Okay. Does not having a car automatically make someone less independent? Kind of, sort of. Or does it really not matter if she's still handling business? Well, I don't know what you mean by that. You mean like working and doesn't need a car, maybe takes public transit systems, like the buses, the trains, maybe carpools. I mean, there's situations for everybody, especially in today's rough economy, which has always been rough. But now more than ever, right? That's always the same story. Not everybody can be rich. There's a lot of poor people and everybody in between. So you don't know, right? So less independent, kind of, sort of. I think a car is extremely important, especially in the U.S. and many parts. More parts than less. I would say more, not less. Yes, you do need a car. But less independent? Well, that's part of independence, right? You got your own place, you got your car, you got your set of wheels, whether you're a man or a woman. Is it a requisite in order for love to work? In order to possibly turn into a lifelong relationship? The best partner of your life? No, it's not a requisite. If you don't have a car, no deal. That's pretty shallow. I mean, it's realistic. If you guys want to work things out, like if you live in another city and we met in that city, I was on vacation, whatever the case is, there's a lot of cases. On a case-by-case basis, I would say it's better to have than not have. But don't shut your doors to somebody who doesn't have an automobile, even a bicycle. It wouldn't be wise. And it's on a case-by-case basis. Maybe you have to because it's just not going to work out. Maybe it's not going to work out. Transportation reasons. There's always a reason, right? So you can have your business being handled. You can have your job, your goals. But your life isn't all together, right? Especially if you don't have somebody by your side to love and to, they love you just as much as you love them for now and forever, right? That's having your life together. You can have the job, the goals. There's always new goals to accomplish. So who doesn't drive, but still, no, it's not that important, but it could be important. So I hope that kind of answers it. It's kind of yes and no. It's an in-between answer. All right, the last comment of the show. I didn't feel a spark on the first date with my partner, but after about the third or fourth date, I felt we were a good match. I've been with him now for 5 years. I think the lack of spark in the beginning was nerves and trying to figure each other out. Okay, congratulations. Dating worked apparently for 5 years so far. Now, granted, we don't know the quality of this relationship, but if they're being honest, then congratulations. But more often than not, the majority of dating fails. The dating game. So do you want to keep taking your chances? Because let's go back to the casino. Yes, there are winners. Otherwise, the casinos wouldn't be in business. But do you really want to spend your hard-earned money taking that chance? You could lose it all. So why take the chance? For this couple, it worked out for 5 years so far. But that's not going to be for everybody. The majority are going to have people online who are desperate, meaning severely immature, possibly even dangerous, maybe abusive people pretending to be otherwise. Is that something you really want to gamble your life with? To end up with a psycho or a narcissist or somebody who just doesn't care, is going to ghost you anyway, and then you guys went on a few dates offline because you met online and you thought it was going all well. You hear it all the time. We just had it on this show. This show alone has already showed you a couple of those cases. Do you really want to gamble and be like, well, I really hope I end up like this couple right here, with a spark, the spark in 5 years. How about a guaranteed spark when you establish a successful friendship with somebody and you take things slow? How about that spark? I'll tell you what, it's going to become a freaking bonfire if you put enough time and effort into it. That's what it's going to become. That's what you want. Not just a little flame on a candle of passion. No, a bonfire of passion. How about that flame? I really enjoyed that one. So, without further more, let's go ahead and conclude this show, shall we? If you have a comment that you would like for me to go over on this show, please put it down in the comment section down below. This has been Coach Ben. Stop dating losers. Much love, everybody.